let's get going here. My name is Crimson Clad. Let's double check that everything's working. Let's hope to God you can hear me and that everything is happening and that everything is working. Let me know, my darlings. So, once again, another crazy race home day. I switched everything over because Ron wanted me on OBS. I have not put a face on. I'm going to do that while the show is going. We are going to have so much fun and we'll roll with it. I mean, we're going to figure it out as we go. So my name is Crimson Clad and this is Fullforce Radio, and you were just listening here on MSP Waves to Post Up. You were hanging out and I'm hoping that you had a fabulous time. Mariano, you recovered your old account? That's so exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. One of the things that I have to do because I didn't get time to set up any of the streams. So I've got to go fix all those. I got to go drop my face on. I got to go do a ton of different things, to be quite honest. So if you guys are cool with that, then after the first song, we'll start the show officially. Because, of course, it's not official yet. These days, it is so hard. It is so hard for me to get home on time, and it's so important for me to get these streams going, to hang out with you guys. And, you know, if I don't get the fucking notifications sent out and I don't get ready to go, then nobody wants to come and the show dies a horrible, slow death. And that absolutely fucking crushes my soul. It crushes my soul because I love doing this show so much and I fucking hate disappointing everyone. And it literally happens week after week after week after week after week after week after week. Last week we had a great show, one of the best fucking playlists ever. It was all dog inspired. We fed my dog on stream and it turns out that I had been prepped to do a Hive broadcast and literally no recording. Hi Otto, you were live earlier today. I hopped in but I didn't get to say hi to you because I'm an asshole. So I'm stoked to have you guys. If you don't mind, I'm going to cover up this little zit here. And if you're just a listener, if you just come to MSP Waves and you just want to listen and get the experience and just hear it with your ears, no problem. You can do that. That'll be fabulous and it'll sound good. But I'm going to, cover up the rocking this nice zit here. Maybe put some mascara on so I don't look like a freaky redheaded albino. We'll play with it as the night goes on, but we'll get prepped. I will fix all of the streaming platforms because of course you can listen to this show anywhere you please. You can go to Vim TV, Twitch, Trovo, Theta, whatever, wherever you want to listen, or even on mspwaves.com. But I will go name the show properly. And then we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. I have some hints. And it's crinkly packaging. And I do love this. Love me, spoil me, treat me. That's what I plan to do by putting some good metal in your ears. Absolutely. You know what, Mariano? I thank God for you, my man. Seriously. Because as long as you guys are always like, am I recording? I am recording. Yeah, I learned my fucking lesson, Ron. Tonight's recorded. It'll absolutely go up after the show. Okay, so yeah, I have a killer playlist tonight. A lot of it is new metal. A lot of it is weird old favorites. And a lot of it is just stuff that... a lot of it is just stuff that I wanted to play. Because fuck you, I play what I want. So if you guys don't mind that, and also don't mind the fact that I'm wearing a little tied off t-shirt that's a little bit see-through, I'm not turning into a thought. It's hot here in Vancouver. So we'll talk a little bit about these summer days and summer nights. We'll play a little bit of music. We'll have a little bit of fun. And in theory, everyone will be happy by the end of the show. Right? Right. So... here's the deal. Yeah, see, now JP's listening. He wasn't listening, but now he's listening. Listen, and also if you're looking to try and see what you can see, what you will see is massive amounts of dog hair. Now, last week and the week before were two of the most fun shows, ridiculously fun shows. 2 weeks ago was the Canada Day episode. And all of the songs were by amazing Canadian bands. So we had so much fun and we got absolutely wasted. Absolutely not Ron. Absolutely not Ronathan. I am one of those girls who cannot do without support. I mean, I guess I could, but my preference is I have it. Now, listen, focus. So we did a great Canadian episode, and I'm going to get sharing that with everybody because I realized it didn't get posted. So that's number one. Number two is the dog episode, and the playlist was a ripper. People were stoked last week, but nobody got to see the dogs. So we're going to fix that up, and we're going to have kind of a deja vu tonight, because I'm not going to play anything that I played last week, but I am going to kind of share that playlist again. I'm going to prep a new post, and I got a bunch of new music for you. So if you guys are cool, we're going to start the show. I'm going to fix whatever this is. Oh, Ron's talking about getting fat enough to understand under boob sweat. We could talk about that today on the show if you want, like sweaty bits. Because I'll tell you, as a lady who is of a curvy stature, under boob sweat, but also thigh sweat. Thigh sweat is very unpleasant, and I'm sure men get it too, but holy Hannah. Just, yeah, chafy, yucky thigh sweat. Happy summer, bitches, unless you're Mariana or one of the other people who are currently in winter. And in which case, maybe you don't have thigh sweat. Maybe your thighs are in warm pants and they just rub because thighs. Thick thighs save lives. Isn't that what they say? This new girl will know. She draws all of the sexiest thick thighs. See? Yes. She says yes. Fabulous. So, let's do it. Let's pretend this show hasn't officially started, even though it has. And I have you guys for a delicious 3 hours of heavy metal, hard rock, and sass here on Fullforce Radio. Ron, let me know how the OBS game is going. And yeah, there are more plants. You know what? They've always been here. I just turned the camera gently. But yeah, here they is, kids. Here they is. And actually, this calathea is not doing very well. It's not getting enough light here. Snake plant, happy. Dieffenbachia, happy. Pothos in the back, happy. Calathea, not happy. So we're going to move them out. You wear short shorts in winter? I'm wearing not so short shorts right now. So there you go. And then, yeah, if we turn the camera the other way, for those of you who are watching, there are a couple plants back here, but you can't tell what they are. Oop, a gun case. Let's just turn that back. All right. So, we're rocking it. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight on Full Force Radio. So we've got... everything is working well. OBS is just for the log files. You made me switch the whole program just so you could have log files. You are a demanding fellow. All right. So here's the deal. I have so much good fun music for you guys tonight, and I am stoked. But one of the things that we may do, that's me making some sort of sound effect, is... we're going to start with some doom, with some delicious doom. Yeah, shorts, I'm telling you, I lied to you guys for a long time. Hey, gecko! And I will tweet too. I lied to you guys. For a long time, I was like, Canada over here on the West Coast, we don't need air conditioning. Nah, 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 nah. Creme is annoying. Yeah, I take it back. Climate change is real. Shit is hot. And I'm uncomfortable. I need an air conditioner in here. But that will interfere with the sound and the delightfulness. Now, you guys can probably hear some traffic noises. That's because my window's open. We're going to play it by ear. You guys let me know what sounds very good on your ear holes, and then we'll adapt. But I want to start. Can we ask Hive questions this stream or no? Mr. D Pig is here. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to ask Hive questions, I say go for it. You know what? I'll answer them. It won't be that exciting. But if you have like a burning desire, there's a cream for that. And also maybe Crimson Clad. So yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to make sure that I pull Fade up so I can actually see your chat. Listen, I want to make sure that all of you are treated delightfully well tonight with some good music. I'm going to play some weird, fun, ridiculous doom metal to start because I know you guys love doom. I know you guys love something a little down tempo that's got, some cool psychedelic groove on it. So if you guys are looking for bizarre, I'm going to start off the show with Reverend Bizarre. Now, this album is awesome. It's called Crush the Insects, which is, a thing you would do. So Crush the Insects, this is a Finnish doom metal band. And you guys know, I basically will absolutely consume anything that comes out of Finland. I'm a big, big fan. But this band is fun and weird. And I want to share that with you. I want to share, all of my innermost musical thoughts and desires. Isn't that how the movie guy often does it? Desire. There was a comedian that used to talk about that, where there was the movie fellow that would do, he is doing the movie voice, and in this summer. Ridiculous. Desire. Passion. All right. It's voice acting is not a thing I'm going to get into. Let's actually play the metal, and then we'll come back and we'll chat, because I get the feeling people will be chatty tonight, but I could be wrong. And then I'll also fix this overlay, because the overlay is not perfect because we changed program. Shit's all fucky. That's Full Force Radio in a nutshell, but we'll do it. So I want to play you a track called Doom Over the World. Now, I'm not saying this isn't a comment on the status of the world right now, but I mean, isn't it a little bit? You know, one of the things that we talk about a lot, whether on this show, on my other show on Cyberbuzz, other shows here on MSP Wave, whether it's Ron's Clown World or Clay when he's talking philosophy, you know, it's kind of hard not to notice that the world's a little strange right now. It's a little fucky, right? You know, one of the things that comes after periods of unprecedented progress is usually periods of unprecedented misery. And as sad as that is, it is the natural ebb and flow of things. So, doom over the world. In this case, it's not talking about the impending doom that is hanging over our necks like a sword of Damocles. No, my dears, doom over the world is referring to how everybody needs a good little bit of doom metal in their life, and how we, the messengers of metal, shall take it out into the world. We will spread it, we will share it, and gosh darn it, we will probably terrify just one or two people across the way. You know? So we'll see if this works. I have noticed that this is looking a little bit fucky, and I'm not sure why. And you know what? That sounds like a later me problem, not a now me problem. So let's just do the thing. Let's get the music started. Doom over the world. I'm going to slam on a face. I'm going to fix all the streams. You guys are all going to hang out for a fun Dog Deja Vu new metal Full Force Radio. I'm pretty sure they just hoot and holler like absolute morons for like 3 full minutes. So we're just gonna pause that now. Yeah, I love the bottle clinking. There you go. I see people are here. I didn't do shit to my face, but I did get some of the streams set up. So fantastico, my friends. Fantastico. All right. So this new girl's going to draw. She's going to have to show us all the delightful soft anime titties that she's coming up with right now. Kritax has joined us. Lots of people are hopping in. I see people all over the place getting them streams all good and tasty. Perfect. Glad to have you guys. Stoked to have you here. We'll close this a wee bit until I overheat. So hey, my name is Crimson Clad, and this is Full Force Radio, and I started out with a little bit of Doom Over the World by Reverend Bizarre. I never did any of my face, with my 1997, Doom and anime titties. I'm not even rocking a metal shirt tonight. I'm just rocking a little, tied up, fucking mesh shirt, because I'm basically like Right Said Fred. I'm just far too sexy, but mostly far too hot. And so I'm gonna turn into one of those thoughts who are gonna do their face on stream and talk about dumb shit. But the reality is it's hard being a redhead, friends, and it's certainly hard working the hours that I do, because I'm just vain enough that I don't want you to think that I'm an absolute albino. One thing that they don't tell you growing up as a ginge. One thing that as you're a ginge growing up that you don't think about is that all your body hair is basically translucent. And if it isn't translucent, it's neon orange. Nobody tells you this. You're always thinking that, you're going to get to that period of becoming an adult and you're going to grow some, dark hair. Friends, you're not. Yeah, makeup thought. It's exactly why you came here. Heavy metal and whatever this is. But listen, I'll tell you this. We've talked about this on the show. We've talked about my fun, hey, ask us. We've talked about my fun little scar through my eyebrow before, because my dad stopped watching me at a monster truck show and let me fall down an entire set of bleachers, and I smashed my fucking head open. Well, here's the deal. Why you want dark hair? Okay, listen, we're going to have this discussion. We haven't had it on Full Force Radio in a long time, but hell, we're recording and we're already talking about it. Let's just do it. Let's get into the embarrassing thing. One of those things that I can't do well, let alone in a specific color, is grow hair. I can't grow body hair. Head hair, sure. Yeah, you can see it. Here it is. But like eyebrows, I don't have a lot of eyebrows. I want Jennifer Connelly eyebrows. I want Brooke Shields motherfucking caterpillars. Because the reality is, if you have it, you can shape it how you want. If you don't have it, you have to be like one of the women that Clay goes out and looks for. You got to draw that shit on with a pencil. Have you guys ever seen somebody who just, shaves their eyebrows off and then draws them on with a Sharpie? That is prevalent. And you know what? For some women, oh my God, it's so sexy. But for a lot of women, artistic skills, not their number one, just not good. Okay? And you get like somebody, instead of using the nice fine tip Sharpie, they get the fucking graffiti wedge and they just and they have permanently angry eyebrows or whatever. I'm going somewhere with this. The body hair that I do grow is orange. My arms are covered in hair, but it's completely see-through and orange. But it means that everywhere, that's the color of my hair if it grows. I don't have a lot of options, is what I'm saying. I would love to look like a grown-ass adult woman, if you know what I mean. But I can't. It's not an option for me. Same with the eyebrows. Got to draw them on. Literally have to draw these on. There's no eyebrows here, friends. This is fake. Learning. You're learning. Fullforce Radio. All about, yes, here they come. And I highly encourage chat to drop your most ridiculous eyebrows. Clay is the master, but I believe someone else can take him on. So wherever you are and whatever your eyebrows look like, please understand I'm not mocking you. My eyebrows are bullshit. My pubic hair is bullshit. My arm hair is bullshit. This is what Full Force Radio is about now. The only hair that I can maintain on my body in any way, shape, or form with any certainty is fuckloads of dog hair. And that's a seg, because we will bring the dogs on tonight. Now, if you were here... If you were here last week, I was telling you that last week was the 1-year anniversary of Lulu joining my family, my adorable desert dog, my little baby. She's been with me a full year and she has totally changed. And if you were here, I had this great idea that I was going to bring her up on the couch, that we were going to make it all about Lulu, and that I was going to share a bunch of cookies. So even if you were just listening, it was going to be like dog chomp ASMR. Well, nobody fucking told me they couldn't see this stream. So last week's fantastic show was bespoke and ephemeral and existed only in a tiny moment in time. Because if you weren't here and you weren't watching it on like a very specific tiny little subsection of places, you didn't get to see it. Very sad. Arguably, dogs eating cookies on camera or hearing a dog eating a cookie is like the best episode that I've ever done. What are we going to do? So, with that being said, we're going to do it again. Hi, Jason. Hi, everybody. People are hopping in. The eyebrows are all over the place. Look at, Clay just put a girl in chat who literally purposefully forgot to draw a piece in. Does that mean having a scar in your eyebrow is cool? Am I cool? Do you guys think I'm cool? So here's the deal. In a little bit, as the night cools down, I am going to feed Lulu the same cookie that I fed her last week. And don't worry, it's not only about Lulu. I also do have a cookie for Murphy. Oh, no, it's broken. Well, nobody needs to know. And so that's what we're going to do. We will eat dog cookies on air. We will pet dogs, and we will play loud-ass heavy metal. I hope that makes you happy. And we'll just remember the glory of last week. So, now that I've shared with you my embarrassing body hair issues, and, we've kind of laid the groundwork for where tonight is going, we'll continue trying to beat this mug, and we'll keep having a little bit of fun. Yeah, dogs and metal. I mean, arguably, if I had a choice, the dogs would be here in every show. It's a little hot right now. I mean, if it's hot enough that I am wearing shorts and like a little whatever this is, it's a lot for them. So we're going to try and keep them for the back half of the show for safety's sake. Cooking your dogs live on air, not hot. Very hot, but not hot. Also, selfies in chat. New Girl has fantastic eyebrows. Ya bastards. Okay, so I want to play you guys more music tonight, and I'm going to tell you, I have a pretty wide array of stuff. I've got some old stuff, I've got some new stuff, and you know, over the last week, if you were here for the dog episode, then you would have heard things from, I mean, honestly, everywhere from 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛 to Amorphous, 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖛𝞂, Red Fang, Death Angel. We played some 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛𝖞, and I have to admit, all week, I love 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛𝖞. I love classic bands. And we were talking about this before, that thrash, it's kind of my jam. It's funny because I don't think of it as my jam. And then I remember sort of early thrash and crossover new wave of British heavy metal bands and sort of classic metal and whatnot. It makes me happy. And then I play something on the show for you guys and I get in a rut. So I'm going to say that for the last week on repeat, I have been playing 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛𝖞's Frost and Fire all week. Now, I won't subject you to it again, but it's a good album. And if you haven't heard it in the last X amount of days, your homework, as per Crim, is to go listen to some 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛𝖞. And if you need to be able to do that without the post available just yet, then don't you worry, fam. I've got you. Let me get it. Let me add it to the profile. There it is. And let me copy the link to the playlist and share it to all of your double cute faces. Yeah, I agree, Mariano. Tell me about your scars, you guys. Do you have a cool scar that you're rocking? Oh, Clay, these are terrible eyebrows. Darsico! Oh, some of these eyebrows are awful. So I'm sharing you guys last week's Doggy Dog 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 playlist. It's there for you guys as a catch up. But, oh my Lord, that girl's face is so much eyebrow. You have a birthmark on your penis. Well, that's funny because I have a freckle inside my lady bits. And I didn't know that until my doctor told me so. So there you go, twinsies! Oh, the show's gone inappropriate in like 14 seconds. We're like barely into the show and it's already just out the window. But I want to know, scars, I actually agree. Some scars are really, really cool. And, you know, everybody, when you're growing up, everybody likes to tell you, oh yeah, chicks dig scars. But I mean, maybe a little bit, right? So Mariana's got like a cool lip scar. Do any of you guys have a scar? And do you think it's cool? Tell me about where you have a scar because I want to know. Tell me your deepest, darkest secrets. Did you impale yourself doing something inappropriate? Because I guarantee you there are some gentlemen out there who have probably given themselves oopsies scars. And while we're on that, let me continue to fix everything that's going on. Get the last of the stream stuff sorted out. Connect Trovo back up and send some lovin' everybody's way. We also should probably pick some emotes because on Twitch I have special emotes now because apparently I'm an affiliate. I don't know what that means, but maybe it's cool. I hope you guys think it's cool. And we'll do that. So, I have lots of stuff tonight, and I'm trying to decide where to go with it because so much of the stuff is fun. Let's take, how many do I need? Well, we can make them custom, and they're custom to me, only for my Twitch. And I think 𝖭eta, we have to work on that too. I think I might be able to do it for 𝖭eta. I'm not sure. But I get 3. So I was thinking we should make a Murphy, a Lulu, and a Crimson Clad in the middle, obviously. So think about it. Let's think about it. They should probably be embarrassing and or ugly. I mean, God, we didn't... Thank you, Clay. So let's sort that shit out and like just figure it out. Now, Clay, you actually subscribed. Are you first subscriber? Because one of the things you guys can do, I was just told this earlier, is if you have Amazon Prime, you can use a free subscription. You can literally subscribe without paying. I don't understand how Twitch thinks that works, but listen, Twitch is stupid, so, you know. Let's do it. What do you guys want to start with? We started with some Doom. Are you feeling heavier or do you want to kind of ease into it a little bit? Because I got a lot of fun stuff tonight. I got a wild range of options for you. So you're feeling, wait, what's free with Amazon? Well, if you are an Amazon Prime person, if you have, yay, I can retire, yay, $2. Ah! Critax, thank you. Cheers. So I didn't know this, and I don't want to subscribe to myself, so I've got to, rotate between all of you guys. But if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription on Twitch. So you can just go to someone and pay them using your Amazon Prime without actually paying out of your pocket. It's a giant bonus. I don't know. Jeff Bezos. Send me Jeff Bezos money. Twitch will take it. I'll get no money in the end. It will just be billionaires sending dollars back and forth. Isn't that the entire fucking world as it stands? I think so, honestly. Yeah, I didn't know this. It's a new thing. Look at me. Professional streamer and radio host. Well, now that you're here for Full Force Radio, let's play some more fucking metal. And I want to talk to you guys about some upcoming shows and about some upcoming trips. And we'll just figure it out. So here's the deal. I've already decided. Nobody answered, so I've already decided. I'm going to play something by a band called Prong. Now, when we talk about metal royalty and metal supergroups and all these things, there's like 50% of you who know everything I'm talking about. You are fucking hardcore metalheads. 50% of you come show up because you're like, haha, Crimson Clad's funny, and she talks about her pubic hair and feeds her dogs. And you know what? Both of those are absolutely valid. You do you, boo. But if you are one of those people who doesn't really know a lot about metal bands, no problem. The band I'm going to play for you, you might know the reference in that a bunch of the people in this band actually worked at a legendary... Jason liked that one. A legendary club called CBGB's. Now, you guys know that's in New York City. That is JP's stomping grounds. And if you were here for his show, you would have heard all about it. But CBGB's being just a bastion for music, a gleaming light in the darkness, just one of the most famous music venues of all time. Well, a bunch of the gentlemen working at CBGB's decided, well, fuck it, we'll make a band too. And they put together a band. I am family-friendly-ish. Can we say ish? And also then I have to go back and answer Pig's fucking question about Hive, because he asked it to me and then we started talking about pubic hair and the poor guy got steamrolled. He asked a legitimate question and we didn't answer any of it. So I'm going to quickly go back to his question because it's a good one and it's a confusing one. But you died. Oh, you died. I read that as you died at CBGB's and I thought, boy, here you are and you're looking very alive. No, you DJ'd at CBGB's. Got it. Spellings on the internet, typos. My brain was just like, yeah, you died at CBGB's? Yeah, that sounds about right. Super dead. I'm going to play you a band called Prong. And a bunch of them were like sound techs, door guys. They were just there all the time and they said, fuck it, let's make a band. And this song, I'm not going to lie to you, it's basically sort of like Clutch. It's a little bit hard rock. It's leaning a little bit more to that side of the scale. But every now and again, I have a week. And now I don't know if you've been having a week, but I've been having a week. Every now and again, I have a week. And when I have a week, I'm a cranky bitch. And I have inappropriate thoughts. Now, not the inappropriate thoughts you guys are thinking from where the start of the show was, but inappropriate thoughts in that, boy, I sure wish I could bludgeon you into a coma. With love, I would never do it, but I certainly, you exercise the mental image just to kind of, a little bit of catharsis is what metal's good for. And there's one of these songs that is just absolutely my guilty pleasure. Prong has a song called Snap Your Fingers, Snap Your Neck. I've played it a couple times on the show, and every now and again, you want something with a good beat, and you want something that's angry as fuck. That is this track. It's perfect. It's perfect for Full Force Radio. Now, if you haven't gathered, zero topic tonight. We will at some point feed some dogs and we will listen to some loud music. And that's it. That's all that we've planned for. Maybe I'll end up with a face. Maybe not. You'll never know unless you just stick around and you listen or you watch or you check out the replay. Okay, listen, you probably will know. Fuck. I'm trying to go for some mystique here on Full Force Radio. Let's stop. Hey, all right. So we've kind of fixed the facial situation. My name is Crimson Clad. This is Full Force Radio, and more people are joining us. Eileen is here. 𝖊𝖕𝖆 is a delight, and 𝖊𝖕 actually does some streaming herself. And in fact, the other night, I hop in when I can. So many people that come to my radio shows, whether you listen online or you come to one of the streams or you watch the replays later, let's be realistic. It's not because I hate you. It's not because I don't love you. It's because I literally have zero time and I'm the worst human on earth. But I want each and every one of you, including, JP. Oh, you are restreaming the restream to the restreaming. Excellent. Thank you. Well appreciated. The reality is that I do my absolute best to come hop in. I will say I never chat. Because I'm always doing something else. And I know that sucks. But I want you to know that the other day I was rocking out to Kodama with you, 𝖊𝖕. And, so I hop in when I can. It's not because I don't love you. It's just because I'm a piece of shit. Right? All right. So with that being said, when you could show up, I'm going to try and entertain you as an apology. And I also love when 𝖊𝖕 comes because then I can say, hello, 𝖊𝖕, which is, tradition. Almost 5 years now of fucking tradition. You guys are fabulous. Coming up at the end of July here, we are going to have to celebrate 5 full years of Force. I have some plans. They're not firm, but we'll work on it. So you guys have, of course, a say as well. And some of the things are coming together, which is nice. We've got some Discord bot stuff going on. There's just lots of things happening, and I'm stoked for them. So let us continue on. Now we will try and get the air in here, cool down a little bit, enough for doggos. But I will say, I have missed some of your faces over the time. We lost the Canadian crew, Corbin and Lamb and Viking Adventure and Lacey. They all just poofed off into the sunset. Many people. I think of 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆, he's gone. Those of you, do the plans involve pizza? Listen, I'm not saying I'm predictable and I'm also a hungry fat bitch, but I am. So maybe they do. Possibly. Maybe I'll let you guys pick no, I don't want to let you guys pick the toppings on my pizza. Oof, it's a terrible idea. I regretted it the second I said it. Forget I said anything. Absolutely not. Nope, that was a mistake. So let's continue on. At the start of the night tonight, we've talked about absolutely nothing useful. This show has been absolutely bizarre. We've talked about how I'm not wearing a metal shirt. It's true, I'm not wearing a metal shirt. Sorry guys, it's hot. I have talked about how unfortunate it is to have orange body hair or no body hair, and how I desperately wish I could just look like a grown female. And Pig actually asked about some Hive stuff, so we'll quickly touch on it. And the question was basically, why does the Hive internal market show a certain price when the blockchain interprets it as roughly being tradable inable, which is a very technical term, by the way. Why can you trade one HBD for roughly $1 worth of Hive, but when I go to the market, it's not worth that? And the answer is, we're stupid, frankly. No, the long and the short of it is, if we were to only have the internal market, it would be a little bit easier to control. But the blockchain knows that this is a debt instrument. The blockchain treats HBD as a debt instrument, which is basically representational for Hive that does not exist as Hive. It exists as an IOU, if you want to call it that. And an HBD is tradable for $1 worth of Hive. And that's just what the blockchain thinks. The blockchain thinks, hey, when you want to cash in that IOU, baby, I got you. We're going to do it at $1, right? But when you go to the internal market and the external market, that's where things fall apart. And I promise we won't stay technical for too long. The issue being, HBD, if we had kept it only internally, if we only made it so that HBD was that debt mechanism existing on the Hive blockchain, it could be whatever it needed to be. We'd have many options for controlling the price. The problem is we took it to outside exchanges. Great. On and off ramps, buying, speculating. If you're not earning it, if you're not getting interest, but you need some HBD quick, go to another exchange. The problem is HBD on outside exchanges is, of course, basically at the will of the market. And so for a long time, people were pumping it and dumping it and moving it around because it was a speculative asset. And so outside of the Hive ecosystem, HBD had a price. The blockchain has always thought of it as $1, but outside, it's worth what people are willing to buy and sell it for. And so what needs to happen then is that the witnesses of the Hive blockchain need to go out and they need to see all of the exchange prices, grab them all, smash them together, get a median, that's a price feed, and broadcast that price. And that way, the blockchain kind of has an idea of what is the outside price on the market, what do I treat this like, and where do those prices kind of coincide in the middle? What do I need to do as the blockchain? Figure it out. Is it a little convoluted? Yes. Is it an excellent stablecoin option? Yeah, honestly, it turns out it really has been. And in a lot of cases, if you're looking for a place to just park some crypto and sit on it and earn some interest, HBD is not a bad choice. Is it going to be magical internet beans falling from the sky? Are you going to make 47,000% compounding daily? No, absolutely not. Are you going to be like those cool dudes in the New York Times who got to write, like 1 week they wrote a story about how you're a millionaire and then like 3 weeks later they're like, hey, you suck. Also, you're poor now. What does that feel like? Tell us. Tell us about your suffering. In excruciating detail, we want to watch you fail. Any comment? Yeah, that. So you're right. Celsius failed. Luna failed. Solana failed. All of these DeFi protocols failed because, frankly, they just didn't have anything backing up their assets and they're completely centralized. And when you give away your coins to somebody else with no control over them, bad things happen. One of the beautiful things about the Hive blockchain is you're the one that puts your savings into savings. No one else touches them. You don't have to trust somebody else that they'll just be really nice and give you some interest. Only trust yourself. Boom! You call Lacey and Lacey appears. That is wild. How did that happen? I was literally just saying that all the Canadians disappeared, Lacey, and here you are. What a magical time this is. So, there we go. Hopefully that helped, Pig. We can talk about this a little bit more on Saturday, but tonight is a doggy 𝖍𝖕𝖆𝖏, doggy eat a cookie on stream kind of thing. I will say, I'm actually almost tempted to eat this cookie. Delicious. I think it's probably less delicious if I had the cookie part, but the icing is tasty. Let's continue. So we started off, we got through a couple tracks. We played some Doom. We played some kind of fun Prong bullshit metal. And let us move on. So I want to play something now that moves us in a totally different direction. And it is a new release. It is by an artist group called Psychonaut. And I don't know if I've ever played them on Fullforce Radio before, but they're from Belgium and they do post-metal. And they have little bits and pieces of psychedelia. They do a little bit sort of melodic, a little bit experimental. And it's good stuff. It's somewhere between rock and metal, and it's got some pretty interesting sounds. So, you know them? Well, Mariano, I would say 1,000% that you are at the top of the pile. You and Tax and maybe I guess Pigs might be still listening. Maybe there are some secret lurkers in the background who have some metal knowledge. But I'm going to say you're at the top of the metal pyramid. Let's play it. Let's see what we think. This is a brand new release, brand fucking spanking new release. If we go to this, I'm pretty sure this is from a couple weeks ago, maybe? So we're going to play something called Interbeing. And I know on this show, one of the things that we always love to do is kind of ruminate on the nature of being human. We like to talk about weird philosophy shit. We like to talk about how metal makes us feel big and also how metal makes us feel small. We like to listen to loud, angry, in-your-face music, talk about snapping people's necks. And we also like to listen to metal that glorifies going out and sitting under the stars and reminding yourself that you are a delightful... You like death metal? Good man. I also have some news. Like I said, some news for shows. So yeah, whether you're sit under the stars and contemplate the ethereal beings that we are made of stardust, or if you literally just want to grab someone and squeeze them until their eyeballs goop out of their head, either or. We're going to play a track called Interbeing. My name is Crimson Clad. It's brand new Psychonaut. And then I'm going to speed my ass up a little bit because we need to get through more than 4 songs tonight. It's not required. It's just, we really should, Let's do it. It's just very slow and quiet and mysterious. It would be good if I didn't leave you guys hanging there. But, I was trying to fix this because I lost my chokers while I was in Alaska. So I built a new choker, and then it was quiet and everybody was, So, yeah, welcome. You now know what the next song is going to be. But don't worry about it. It's fine. My name is Crimson Clad, and this is Fullforce Radio. So yeah, see, it doesn't fit quite right yet, but we'll get there. But yeah, I'm the world's worst DJ. It is what it is. You get used to it. Have no fear. Crim is here. So what are we doing tonight? We are having a doggy deja vu. Last week, it was the 1-year anniversary of my dog hanging about with me. She is a babe, and so we fed her cookies on stream. We celebrated her. I made an entire playlist dedicated to the fact that she is a tough little bitch and that she has come such a long way and that she is madly loved. And both dogs came to hang out with me, and we ate cookies and looked dumb and had a whole lot of fun. And the music, the playlist was banging. So tonight, here we are. We're doing it again. Because apparently I'm too stupid to share a replay with you guys. So we are going to feed the dogs. We are going to celebrate all things Full Force. We're only an hour in. We have 2 more hours, and I swear I'm going to play more music this episode. So people are filtering in, the lost ones like Lacey, and people are coming to hang out. Twitch is bumping. People are watching all over the place. The Vim stream has kicked off. All sorts of good stuff happening right now. It is excellent. I'm so stoked to have you here. We played a little bit of everything. We've already kind of wandered through Doom, through some like classic kind of dirty rock and roll. Now we've gone to post metal, and don't you worry, I've got a little bit of everything tonight. So we've already kind of talked about weird things like body hair, because of course we have. It's very on brand for Full Force Radio. Let's be very realistic. Weird is always on brand here, right? And you guys get used to it and you just accept it, and we all just kind of go with it. But the other thing that we were talking about earlier was, do you have a scar or not? And what do you do with your eyebrows? Because many of you are men, and these things really don't matter to you, but maybe you do have a cool scar. So tell me about that. Many of you are women, and perhaps, just perhaps, you draw on your eyebrows in a very strange and wonderful way. And if you do, I want to know. I do. Because I have a scar in my drawn on eyebrow. That's where this all came from. You can kind of see it. It goes right through my eyebrow. My eyebrows are drawn on because all of my body hair is see-through. You wouldn't think that this is a problem, but I promise you it's a problem. It's a lot of work around the bend. You can also tell it's summer because normally I will do enough, either I will do enough hiding in the shade, or I will put on enough makeup that you can't see my freckles. But I will say, boy, oh boy, these bad boys are starting to come out. Now, can I play you another track? Can I quickly do that? Will I go see if I can rustle up some animals and bring them up here to come hang out so we can eat cookies and look cute all together? Let us take a boo and just see what's going on. So let's see. Yeah, Lacey, she shaves them all down. Oof, girl. She shaves them all down to nothing. Little triangles, and then it did. And so you have an eyebrow scar also. And so as such, you just said, fuck it, I'm drawing these bad boys on. I like that. I like the idea of having sort of, whatever eyebrows suit you from day to day. It's not something I'm good at. Perhaps one day on stream, I will draw my eyebrows in a very surprised fashion, or maybe really dark. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe that could be our Full Force. Pain is part of life. Scars are the same. Never have truer words been spoken. Scars show you lived. I mean, listen, I'm going to think you're more interesting. And scar tissue is one of those things that ain't no problem. Not going to judge you for it. No big deal. Ain't ugly. So, I do want to kind of jump on stuff that's a little bit harder, because earlier today, as was mentioned, since we're hoping to lure back some of the Viking crew, Emotes mentioned they were going on tour. I love Emotes. They're fun. I know they're cheesy. I know they're not exact. They're kind of like the sort of current version of it's not Hot Topic metal. Don't get me wrong. I do love Emotes. But I mean, they're a little bit more wider ranging, which is funny because whoever thought that would be the case? But a bunch of dirty Vikings, it turns out, grown ass adults love any excuse to go have a drinking horn and, row an imaginary boat and rip off their shirt and run around like heathens. Adults are just looking for a reason. They are just gagging for a reason to pretend they're a Viking. We know this because there was a whole thing. You know how society kind of just latches on to different things of entertainment and it goes in cycles? Well, History Network put out a show called Vikings, and it was just basically like, yeah, Vikings, but also really, really sexy Vikings running around, rape, pillage, tea time, rape, more raping. You know? And then everybody thought, well, shit, Vikings are hot. We didn't know, but now we know that Vikings are hot. And it's like, okay, well, that's questionable at best, but it became a thing. And everybody was back into Vikings. And it was all these shows and knockoffs, everything you can imagine was just sexy, sexy Vikings being sexy. That was a whole thing for a while. Amon Amarth kind of fits into that niche. They've always been around. They've been around for so long. But suddenly, more people were like, ooh, sexy, sexy Vikings. I could go to a Viking metal concert and I too could be sexy, sexy. Even if I'm not sexy, I will use this excuse to run into a large crowd of people and, you know, be sexy. Whatever that looks like for you. So, you know, Amon Amarth, they kind of are the great equalizer. However, I looked at the tours and I realized they're not coming through Vancouver. They're not coming to the West Coast barely at all. I would have to go down to Portland, and I thought, no, thank you. So I took a look to see if they were coming to the East Coast, and sure enough, they are coming to the East Coast. So come December, I will be flying in for a weekend to go see Amon Amarth, but not just because of Amon Amarth. No, it is going to be an absolute banger, kids. They are going to be, let's see here, Cattle Decapitation, Carcass, and Obituary touring with Amon Amarth. How could I say no? I have not yet in my life crowd surfed to Cattle Decapitation. Arguably, some of you are going to say that's exactly what's going to happen to me. This fat cow's going to get up in the air and lose her head. But it's a chance I'm willing to take. So if you are wondering about this fantastic tour, if you're a metalhead, if you're a fantastic metalhead and you're looking for a great tour, check it out. All of these guys are touring together with Amon Amarth. And I will be in Montreal at December 3rd for the show. So if you're hanging around, if you want to go and maybe get axe murdered by me, maybe witness me, get, I don't know, hurt in a mosh pit, send me a message. But it gives me an excuse to play some old Carcass. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, you know, I've played a lot of stuff from Carcass for you guys, you know, or spread over the years, because Carcass is one of those bands that has been around a long time and has certainly kind of pushed. Montreal in December ain't no thing. Montreal in December is coldish. Montreal in like February, March is like, oh, my flesh is now ice. My eyeballs, all of the liquid in that has actually hardened, expanded, and exploded. I'm going to die. That's Montreal. But yeah, I'm a West Coast girl. I am a baby. I don't like weather changes. Yuck. However, I gotta go where the metal is. Yeah, it's cold. It's just not Montreal cold. Montreal cold in December is like, yeah, it's cold. But Montreal cold in like end of January, beginning of February, mid-February, March is like, just kill me now. It will be less excruciating than the utter hell on earth that this is. I'll take December. All right, so I've played a lot of Carcass for you, and I mean, I've played a great sort of, I've played a large assortment of Carcass. I played old Carcass, which is the heavy, extreme shit. I played new Carcass, which is some really, you know, it's still loud and extreme, but it's much more refined. I've played some stuff in the middle. I shared something with Black Star for you guys for instrumental. I mean, everything, a little bit of everything. So today I thought, well, in honor of the fact that Carcass, Cattle Decapitation, and Obituary are traveling together, excuse me, I have the hiccups, that I would pick something from their a little bit more gory days. Because, I mean, let's face it, there's absolutely a little bit, yeah, Lacey, absolutely, the negative 40 degrees, that's Christmas, February, that's exactly what happened. I went outside, and I had my glasses on, and thank God for that, but literally I could feel a skin of ice crusting over the goopy parts of my eyes. Just stepping outside. It was so cold to walk down the street in Montreal that I could go maybe like a block at a time and would have to step into the doorway of a business just to like blink enough to de-crunch my eyes, ice in my eyeballs. It is the most absolutely terrible. Never again. March. Fuck that shit. So the idea is listen, Carcass, Obituary, Cattle Decapitation. These are bands that dominated the late 90s. Just extreme awesome metal, a bit of a gory aspect to them, and that's what we really do love, don't we? We've got a little bit of everything tonight. So I was thinking I'm gonna go back to an album that I haven't revisited in a long time. Like a long time. Going back. And so I thought, okay, I'm gonna play something off an album. Called Wake Up and Smell the Carcass. Now, if you've never heard this album, this was, I want to say like 1996. And the cover is going to come up, so I wanted to mention this to you guys before we got going. Because for some of you, you are all about just whatever's here. I will say the cover of this album is pretty graphic. It is a cadaver with the top of its head pretty fucking mangled. There was a period in the 90s, of course, where metal bands were constantly trying to outdo each other with absolutely disgusting covers. And arguably, there are still bands out there now who are looking for the nastiest, the weirdest, the creepiest, the most sinister, disgusting art ever. We've talked about this a little bit on the show, how there's a whole subsection of metal that is meant to shock and scare and freak people out. Right? That's a thing. We know that. But I do want to kind of throw it out there because for many of you, it looks like the Discord server has gone down. So you guys let me know if things are working okay for you. But yeah, so for everybody listening on the stream, I'm going to put this up. I just want to warn you. So I'm going to play the song. And it's grossish. It's not terrible, but just FYI. And if anybody is super duper concerned about it, let me know and I'll just slap a sticker of my own smiling face over it. And that way you don't have to look at bloody brains. Yeah. That being said, this track is fucking sick and I'm excited to play it for you guys. So we are going to go way back in the time machine and I'm going to play you a track called Edge of Darkness from 1996. My name is Crimson Clad. I am looking forward to traveling on some metal road trips and perhaps hanging out with some of you. I owe Mr. D. I got to buy Mr. D a beer for sure, if nobody else. So let me know. We are coming up. We've got 2 hours left in Full Force Radio. We are listening to good music and having a lot of fun. Carcass on Full Force Radio. There you go. Some fresh Carcass for you. Not fresh at all, but given all of that imagery. So hey, welcome. My name is Crimson Clad. This is Full Force Radio. Yeah, absolutely. The beginnings of grind, a bunch of the sort of nasty, yucky stuff, but good. Now I will say, you guys know, I've talked about this before, that at my work, I work at like a very sort of straight-laced educational firm. I create learning materials, I do photo shoots, I do 3D renders, I do web development and design, I handle a lot of materials that teach people to teach. Now, if that's not terrifying, what is? But so that's the reality is there are many teachers out there who are learning directly from materials that I've created or who are working inside of a learning environment or with a program that I use. I actually don't use Blender. I have. Blender is awesome and free, which is a big fucking deal. But for workflow, I actually use Adobe Suite. And I don't love it, but my work does pay for it. So I have a full seat. So I use everything from InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop. They have a program for AR content. I use Dimension, I use Stager, I use Substance Painter. their 3D suite is not awesome. Let's be realistic. But in a lot of cases, it's actually easier for me to render something in 3D than it is actually to just like take a photo of it. 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖎𝖘, Patient Zero is here, and he's got a fantastic GIF already clipped. What am I doing with the bang bang finger guns? So, welcome. I mean, today's been an exciting night. I'm going to send, I swear to God, I'm going to send, like, Critax and Clay a mug. You guys, like, deserve a mug. You're my first subscribers ever. Ever. I didn't even know it was a thing I could do. But it is, and it was, and so it shall be. So that is something that I got to do. Mariano desperately needs a titty shirt, and I've probably got 3 or 4 things that I've just kind of got to get up and going. So we'll see. I killed JFK. Oh no, they caught me. My secret. It's out. Tonight we've been talking about all sorts of things, but you know, where I was going with this work thing was an actual story. We always get sidetracked on Fullforce Radio. So I work in this really straight-laced, you know, nice, friendly, quiet, peaceful, and mindful learning environment. And so, you know, a lot of it has to do with alternative education in that, you know, it's really important that we teach kids to be critical thinkers. It's really important that we, you know, help adults not treat children like fucking idiots, you know, even though they are idiots. And last week I told you to drop kick babies. That still stands. Have at it. But the reason that I bring this up is so that my coworkers, obviously, they know my proclivities when it comes to music, because of course I have all my monitors set up, and often I'll be working on something and someone will walk by and they'll be like, oh my God, I love that. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, that's so cute. And then they'll look at my vertical monitor and it'll be something like goat whore. And they'll be like, oh. And I'm very used to that. And so same sort of thing, you know, today as I'm working on some stuff, some mobiles, but here I am over on the side, I have Carcass, and it's a giant image of a man's brains just spilling out of the top of his head. He's, you know, very clearly a corpse who's had a rough day. You know, they know for a fact that that's just how it goes. And so one of the things that came up is my girlfriend. She kind of sits in an area behind me. We have an open concept office. She looks over and she's like, you know, I always love these band names. You know, tell me some band names that are out there, or like some songs that are like hilariously metal. And I was like, oh God, we don't have enough time in the world for this. But the thing that made her laugh so hard, and maybe it will make you guys laugh really hard. Now, we've gone over on the show, and many of you are skeptical, but I do swear I'm not a man. And I don't have male genitalia. I don't have a penis. And I know, that has come up many times on the show. It's either a disappointment or an excitement. But either way, you guys are a little skeptical. I don't have a penis. As such, often on this show, I rely on you guys to tell me a little bit about penis stuff, right? Like, I have an idea, logically, of what would happen with a dick, depending on what the dick... I don't know. I have in my mind some physics things that I understand. You know, like, I just get, based on whatever my experiences or inferences about the way that genitalia is attached to a human. I don't know everything about them, but things that I learned from metal a long time ago that I got to pass on today that absolutely made the coworker behind me almost pee her pants. Did you know? We always used to joke when you hear about boner medication that if the boner is to... I have an idea about dicks. No, you don't. I have thoughts about dicks. Things you shouldn't say on Fullforce Radio. Listen, I'm just saying. I have a limited set of experiences. I tend to experience penises from one angle? That's not right either. Nothing here is safe. We can't talk about this. As not an owner of Gentleman's Sausage, we always used to laugh at boner medication. Remember how, like, for the longest time, like, especially when Viagra and whatever first came out, and everybody was like, yeah, I knew everybody would jump on this the second that I said it. I mean, the angle is Listen, you fuckers. Yes, you're right. I walked right into this. It's terrible. Chad is like, listen, we're all going to teach 𝖍𝖊𝖆𝖛𝖞 some new positions. No. My angle is from the receiver, not from the bequeather, shall we say. Let me finish the fucking story. Viagra, Cialis, these things all came out. Do you remember the commercials early on where it was like, you're going to have so much fun. It's going to be the greatest. Your relationship will be amazing. Your penis will be super happy. And also, your brains will spill out of your head. Your erection will last for 4 hours. You'll need to go to the doctor. You're going to have blood farts. You'll probably kill yourself. And your plane will fall out of the sky, burst into a ball of flames. And a dog will come along and piss on the burning wreckage. Do you guys remember that at the end of like every commercial was like blood farts, and you were like, wait, what? And the commercial was like, no, just kidding, but blood farts. And you were like, what? That was the thing. So for me, not understanding 100% all of the physics of dick ownership, I knew that you could have an uncomfortable erection. Things that metal taught me very early on. Did you know that there's a name for that? Did you know there's a word for that? There is. It's called Priapism. Or Priapism? Priapism? I don't even know how to say it because I don't want to think about it. But it has a name. And I know of that name because there is a band out there called Putrid Womb. Indeed. A band, as I said, called Putrid Womb, which is a pretty metal name. Now, Putrid Womb has some pretty spectacular album names. Yes, Priapism. That is an incredibly painful, long-lasting erection that will do permanent damage to your penis. And you may not have known this, and now you do. You've got a new $1 word to put under your belt, literally. But so here's the deal. Putrid Womb has an album called Slam-Induced Priapism. And I'm like, that's right up there. Putrid Womb, Slam-Induced Priapism. Obviously, Carcass has got a couple. Cannibal Corpse has some real bangers. But Putrid Womb also has an album called, like Propensity for Violence. And you're like, oh, that's not so bad. And I was telling my coworker about Priapisms, and I thought she was literally going to die. She was laughing so hard that she was already crying, and it started hitting her with some of the names off Propensity for Violence by Putrid Womb. Such songs as Septic Tank Submersion, Vaginal Evisceration, Rectal Rampage, Ceaseless Ejaculation, I guess that's also part of a priapism, I don't know, Diarrhea Waterboarding. If you ever need the most metal thing in the world, I am going to argue that it might be diarrhea waterboarding. Just FYI. So, tonight on Fullforce Radio, when you get home and you talk to your others around you and somebody comes in and says, my son, hi Gabe, what a time for you to show up. I'm very sorry. What is what is he doing? Why is it? I have so many questions. My goodness gracious. You guys never heard the term blood farts? Did I make that up? Is blood farts a thing just now? Oh no. Well, listen, you should listen to Fullforce Radio for 3 hours. If Fullforce Radio continues beyond 3 hours or you have blood farts, turn it off. There you go. But so I had my coworker literally peeing her pants today as I was teaching her new words. When you go home later tonight and you sit down at the dinner table or whatever, you have lunch or breakfast, and your father comes over and says, what did you learn at school today? You can tell him, hell, your mom, your son, your dog, your kid, your coworkers, tell them about a priapism. Priapism? We should look this up. We should have the internet tell it to us. But now you know. You also know there's a song called Diarrhea Waterboarding. I just want you to know that. Metal is truly a gift. A gift that keeps on giving. I could go on, but I think I'm not going to traumatize you too badly. I just wanted to let you know that today. Just in case you didn't. Metal superpowers. Ron can confirm blood farts are a thing. Now, is that because your mom's in a hospital a lot? Has she seen a blood fart? Oh no. You know what? I have a lot of questions and I don't want any of them answered. Let's play more music. It won't be, I promise it will not be a track like Septic Tank Submersion. I'm actually going to play you. Oh, we got to get going. I only got an hour and a half left and a trillion songs to play. Lord Almighty, please, everybody gird your loins, protect your bits. We'll figure, oh God, there's so much information on Priapisms in chat now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't actually want to know. I mean, I'm content to keep guessing about what that's like as a non-penis haver. Okay? Yikes, penile gangrene. There it is. We were looking for the most metal thing on Earth. Let's do a quick search, not on Google, because I sure as fuck don't want a picture of that. But if I type in penile gangrene on Spotify, oh, not a thing. Guys, we've invented our metal band. Boom! Patent pending. Okay, so let's do something that has absolutely nothing to do with penises being harmed. Right? Right? Let's not. No hurt penises on Fullforce Radio. I'll keep saying penises until people get really uncomfortable. Let's do something by Christ. You know what? We're going to have to play into this. Oh, God. Yeah, the more you know. It's terrible. Don't leave. I promise. Everybody, I'm looking at all of the fucking streams and people are like, no, bye. That's fair. That's fine. Okay, so since we're on this topic, let us go back to some classic Gojira from my favorite album because I am a basic metal bitch, Magma. Nobody's made the magma joke before. I guess this is appropriate here. It's a song called Only Pain. Oh gosh, I always forget that these songs just like literally end in the middle of nowhere. Good Lord. So, hey, it's Crimson Glad here. After talking and scaring away a lot of people because explaining what a priapism is, it doesn't matter. Listen, we talked a little bit about boners because that's just how we do here on Full Force Radio. And we talked about some of the most metal tracks out there. So, Pizzy, that's a really good point. And I didn't say it because I don't know. I'm in Canada. Like, JFK was a big deal, obviously. But not really a big deal to me. I don't really think about him much. Most people around the world probably don't think about him much anymore. But yes, so when I was telling you guys that the album cover is a gentleman's head and his brain's kind of spilling out of it and all that. Yeah, it is. It's actually JFK's real autopsy photo. You know, it's I don't love reminding people that is very much like a broken open head. Just there it is, wide in front of your screens. But everybody seemed to be okay with it. I mean, it's kind of, they've darkened it a little bit. It's not as high def as you would want. But yeah, you're right. I probably should have noted that, Patient Zero, because it's kind of a fun, is it a fun fact? I don't know. That's pretty metal. There was a whole period there. I mean, everybody knows, obviously, about some of the other counterparts of the time period. It's a little dark, and eventually we'll have to talk a little bit about it. And some days we do, but of course, you know, the Dawn of the Black Hearts being like an album, obviously by Mayhem, which was classic because it shared the image of Dead's suicide. Pretty gross, honestly. So yeah, that was, I don't know when he committed suicide. It was like 1991. So the 90s were a rough time where we really just focused on goopy messes left out of people. And you know, if you think about that too, we were kind of just coming into the era where you had to share things with like zines, or you had to mail stuff, or you had to photocopy or send grainy photos around. And you know, eventually we ended up moving into that really like that time of the internet where people wanted to look at stuff because they could. The early internet especially, some of those sites, you know, Ogrish and others, people, you know, sharing really horrible stuff. Metal albums were kind of the beginning of that. Before you had the internet to give you whatever it is that you enjoy. Hopefully not too much staring at smashed up people. But that's what it was. Metal was living for that. Rotten.com, yeah, that was a whole thing. Ogreish, all of them. It was a yucky period for sure. But, humans are insatiable. They're insatiable in their curiosity. We are morbidly obsessed with bad things that could happen to us. And we're also really interested by all the ooky bits on the inside. I mean, we're really all just skin bags, right? It's just holding in all our goo. Your skin gets fucked up, all the goo falls out. It's not awesome. So there you go. I mean, we could probably talk about that, and I'm sure we could do it, but it's like, I love this show to be welcoming to everyone, and I will say, putting together an entire playlist of album covers that are like dead, ucky, real dead people, it doesn't feel super welcoming to everyone, even though it really is. It's kind of an important aspect of, especially like death metal, right? And the 90s especially. We've kind of looped forward again, and we're now in that time period where rather than focus on the real, we move towards the fake, and we've got album covers that are painted by famous artists. And, speaking of Putrid Womb again, they've got one where it's like a lovely mural of a man having his way with just the bottom piece of a woman. Where's the rest of her? I don't know. She's super dead. There's no other pieces of her except the piece that he needs. Yuck. But it's a painting. And there's a real difference between that, right? If you look at all the Cannibal Corpse albums and sort of the wide array of yucky, hilariously metal art out there, there's a difference between photography and art, right? I don't know. Feel about it how you feel about it. I'm not here to judge you. I listen to some gross shit. So, however, we're not going to do that tonight. And just because of all that, we are going to move towards something a little bit perkier and a little bit more fun, because I am going to go and get the doggos. So in the interim, I thought what I would play is a track by a group called 𝖊𝖊𝖆𝖆. It's been a while since I played them for you. They don't have a lot of listeners. People don't hear them a lot, and that's too bad, because they do really, really fun, like, speed metal. And it's like a new wave of traditional heavy metal, right? Bands that are returning to the sounds of their roots. It's kind of like what was happening in British heavy metal. It's kind of what was coming over the pond, but it's got all of these other influences from North America and thrash and speed, traditional sounds, all mixed into one, making delicious stuff. That's it in a nutshell right there, Mariano. So I'm going to play you something by a band called 𝖊𝖊𝖆𝖆. I'm going to play you a track called Speed Queen, because the idea is I'm going to put my headphones down. I'm going to run downstairs. I'm going to grab the dogs. We're going to come back up here, and Lulu is finally going to eat her fucking cookie on stream. And I'm not saying I have multiple cookies for them, but I do. I have multiple cookies. I want to share dog happiness with you, loud heavy metal. I promise we will at least, like a small break from weird things like smashed open heads and blood farts and all of the other terrible things that we've talked about tonight. I apologize. I'm sorry. Do you want a cookie instead? That's what we'll do. There you go. It's a track called Speed Queen, a band called 𝖊𝖊𝖆𝖆, a hostess called Crimson Clad, on a show called Fullforce Radio. There you go. A band called 𝖊𝖊𝖆𝖆. Fucking sick. I mean, for real. There's some good meadlies there. Hey, if you're wondering why I came back and the dogs aren't here, if you're listening and you don't hear the pitter-patter of doggy feet, or if you're watching on the stream and you see me and you don't see dogs behind me, it's because I totally forgot. It's right at the time they eat dinner. I went downstairs. They are not paying attention to me. Dinner has got to be done first. This kind of bullshit cookie is not going to compete with the meal. But you will see. Oh, I was worried these aren't going to hold up. They're clearly not going to hold up. I was thinking about this earlier today while I was picking up dog treats as I fucking destroy them. God, the dogs are going to choke on this. As a dog owner, a lot of weird things get fed to dogs, and that makes sense. Dogs like food. Dogs like to eat anything. Dogs are kind of like me in that they're not particularly, I'm catching myself before I finish a sentence. I was going to say particularly picky about what they put in their mouth. That's not true. I meant not particularly picky about what they eat. However, Speaking of which, I was mentally willing the Alberta crew to come back because that Traveller band is from Alberta, actually. And, you know, one thing that I've noticed is that all of the Calgary metal bands, they love to sing about loose women. I mean, I'm not saying there's stuff going on over there in Calgary. I'm just saying, yeah, and my dogs for sure. Lulu, CBD oil was a huge thing, like 10, 15 milligrams at a time for sure. CBD, huge for Lulu and helping her kind of, you know, become comfortable and also, you know, for pain and whatever else. But yeah, you know, I feed them all sorts of shit. They eat, you know, raw Canadian made and special Canadian made kibble and bullshit. I mean, I'd like to think if it's something that I wouldn't eat, I certainly wouldn't want to give it to her. But that being said, not being picky about what goes in your mouth, that last song, Speed Queen, you know, if you're just listening to it, on the surface, you're like, yeah, metal woman, she likes speed metal, heck yes. Well, if you listen to the lyrics, that is not what that's about. One of the things that you will find at metal shows, and of course you'll find men and you'll find women, out there are many people who are free with their favors, right? You know, live fast, die young, burn brightly, all of that good stuff. So for the women out there who might be a little bit loose, that's fine. But that's what that song's about. The Speed Queen, it ain't about speed metal, kids. Let's just see here. All the men just wait their turn, no concern for the lives you burn. Get your fill, crush a pill, solidify your life as a whore. One step out the door and they're all begging for more. Speed Queen, you're so obscene. You've hopped every bone and now you sit on your throne in the scene. Man after man, she can barely wipe herself clean. Yikes! That's a burn. Can you imagine? I mean, we've talked about this before, dating a musician or, you know, having somebody write a song about you. What would the song be about? Hopefully that's not the type of behavior they immortalize for you. But if they do, that's rough and I'm very sorry. You should probably reevaluate. I'm just saying. But yeah. Talking about, let's just see here, weird things that you feed dogs. So I picked up more stuff tonight because last week I got the dogs a new antler. What else did I get them? I got them a new stuffy. They ate the cookies. So this week I've got multiple types of cookies. And I have to say, as I picked it up in the break there, I caught a little whiff of it. And if you were here before, we had an entire metal show where we talked about cheese and how much I love cheese and how you can fascinate a woman, i.e. me, with a piece of cheese. I'm not fussy. I really like cheese. This is one of those things, for those of you who can't see, I am holding a long orange oblong-like object. Weird stuff that we let dogs have, right? You know, the standard stuff like, you know, byproducts from other productions or, you know, the meat we don't want, the bones we don't want, the vegetables we don't want. But this particular item, as I held it up, I realized it smells fucking delicious. This is a chew that is apparently made of yak milk. I don't know. If you don't have a dog, this is not a weird thing that's going to show up for you. But apparently, it's yak milk made into yak cheese that is then dried out. Dogs go apeshit for this. My dogs go apeshit for this. It is so weird. And a small part of me who hasn't had a pizza yet is like, definitely smells like real cheese. I am not going to eat a dog cheese treat on stream for you people. If it makes you yak, they know they did it right. I mean, honestly, is it that weird? Would it be weird? Do we sell like yak cheese for people? I'm sure in places like towards Nepal or wherever, it's much more traditional. But I mean, I don't know if this is a part of the, like, she'll do it off the stream. Yeah, I'll never let you guys know what a fat girl I am. I'm going to keep it secret on the inside and I'll cry afterwards shamefully. But I mean, it's hard, right? It's not a squishy cheese. I don't know. It's cheese. Mr. D's like, fuck it. It's cheese, man. It's all cheese. Everything is cheese. Everything is cheese. Everything in life either is or is not a potato. Everything is cheese, and they're all pink on the inside. If you need life lessons from Fullforce Radio, those are the top 3. Write them down. Exactly. So I will keep an eye out. I'm going to go get the dogs. I promised you guys I would, but I'm actually going to do it now, right? Because it's 8. It's basically 8. They'll be done eating. You're morally... Oh, see, I have a sub button now. I'm morally obligated to sexually eat dog treats every time you get a new sub, and I have to learn to twerk quickly. I will say, I suspect that Twitch will ban me, and okay, many of you guys use Twitch. Some of you guys use other platforms, wherever you might be. This is a strange thing, and I know that's just what's happening now, is that streamers do weird sex things for money. What is the weirdest thing you've seen? I mean, I know we've all seen the hot tubs. We've all seen the weird licking. We've definitely all seen, the like wearing the horse head mask, but with like a push-up bikini. It's weird. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love looking at a sexy lady, but this is a whole level. This is so beyond my comprehension and my purview. It is not a strong point for me, and it will never happen. I'm sorry. But I am curious to know, what's the new thing? We've already done the horse head. We've already done the whatever. Like, what's the new weird thing? Clay, who's Sasha Grey? I don't know who this is. I don't want to know. So tell me, what is the new weird thing? What are people doing? Because for a while there, like nobody did a hot tub stream, and now everybody does hot tub streams or whatever it is. The mini pool filled with like applesauce, and if you subscribe, she writes your name upside down on her belly. Like, yeah, cake farting predates live streaming. You're right. That's true. Bigo, sure. What do people do? Like, I want to know, what's the new weird thing? Hey, Kingston, dude, haven't seen you in a while. What is it? I don't know. I'm just saying, I will not cake fart for you for a subscription. I might send you some merch. I might work on a tier system. We might have some like cool stuff, but I definitely, no. I don't know. I just feel like times are accelerating. We got VTubers now. We got all sorts of stuff. Like, without totally grossing me out and without going backwards in topics like see-through pubic hair and uncomfortable boners and all of the other wonderful things we've spoken about tonight on Fullforce Radio. Here, what are they doing? How are they making money? I'm curious and I just want to know what's happening. I want to stay in touch with the internet, but also not touch the internet. You will be my eyes. So I'm going to put on another track. I'm going to go get the dogs. I'm going to feed them cheese and cookies. We're going to watch them. It's going to be cute. It'll be fun. We'll make up, for last week's lost stream, because if you didn't see it, you didn't see it, and that's sad. And we'll never speak of this again. So let's do it. I've got a couple longer songs. Man, oh man, we've only got about an hour left in the show. I have a lot of music, so we're definitely going to have to pick up the pace. But a long enough track to allow me to get the dogs. You know what I haven't played for you guys in a long time? A band that I love a lot. I'm going to play you something from 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆. And I was thinking, do I want to play something off the brand new album from 2021? Or do I want to play something off one of my favorite albums from 2012? They're all 2s and 0s and 1s and 2s. Different time periods. But I truly do love 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆, and they are a band out of, I want to say they're out of Melbourne. They're like upside down. They're Aussies, but they make awesome music. And I've played so many tracks for you before, and I was really excited about Coherence. It's an excellent album that came out in 2021. So pick up the thick and chunky one. Pick up the pace. Oh, ha! I thought you were calling me thick and chunky, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Fair. Cattle decapitation is really just Crimson Clad going crowd surfing and getting horribly hurt. Yeah, all of the checks out. Story checks out. But I think what we'll do is we'll play something off of the 2012 album of Breath and Bone. I'm going to play you a track called Absit Omen. I'm going to go get the puppelos, and we're going to feed them cookies. So Clay's talking about, people love toxic, people love drama, people love whatever. And the reality is often when I am a little bit lewd or when we talk about something inappropriate or whatever, people have a lot of fun. And that's fair. One of the shows that people still to this day love to chat about is when we talked about sticking your dick through a hole in the side of an airplane. That will live on in infamy forever. However, not my thing. I like some positivity. I like being happy, and I like respecting when we don't feel happy. But while you're here, I don't want you to be negative. Ya fucks. So, we're going to feed my dogs cookies. We're going to listen to some heavy metal. And if I come back and you're not happy, I'm going to kick your goddamn ass. You like your women like you like your salsa. Yeah, thick and chunky. Or like your coffee? Dark and thick and rich. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Bellacore, dogs, cookies, grievous bodily harm, Fullforce Radio. This outro goes forever. Is here. All right, let's shut that Bellacore down. There you go. So, welcome. Hi, we were talking about you earlier. We were wondering if you dropped off the face of the planet because, of course, I'm terrible and I haven't been, mentioning things, and YouTube's changed. Everything's changed. We don't like change on Fullforce Radio. So, I'm so stoked to have you guys here. We are having a doggy do-over episode, and so last week we were celebrating with an absolutely great dog-inspired playlist, a playlist all about Lulu's Lucky 7. I brought Lulu into my life exactly a year ago last week. On the 7th day of the 7th month, I crossed the border with her at 7 p.m. And I will argue that I am the absolute luckiest. So, last week I was feeding them cookies and we were having a great time and everybody was just so stoked to see happy dogs eating cookies. How could you go wrong? We were talking about positivity earlier. Well, here's your fucking positivity. So I will say I did just try this cookie during the break. It tastes like absolutely nothing. It tastes just, the icing is, I think the icing is real icing. I mean, it tastes sugary. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's good for dogs. I bought it at a dog bakery. So, I've been feeding them cookies. I brought them yaki sticks. Last week we gave them delicious new toys. Who paused me? I don't know what that means. I mean, let's face it, I'm a very positive person. I argue that I've always been positive. So there's Lou chewing her chew. Look at her. She's so functional. Yes, a dog bakery. Such things do indeed exist. There's a whole bakery for dogs. Absolutely. Welcome to Vancouver. Vancouver is absurd. People here have more money than sense. This is the place where fucking Lululemon was invented, and you're surprised there's a dog bakery? This actually surprises you. Hilarious. Hilarious. So, as part of our, sort of first set of subscribers and, whatever... it's heckin' bougie. But, I mean, arguably, I'm a little bougie. Whether I like it or not, I may be a metal girl, but at the end of the day... I got a lot of privilege. I'm living my best life. Got my imported dogs, my darling little puppers here with me. But so, yeah, I mean, part of that is bringing you guys joy. Who doesn't want to watch dogs eat cookies up close? And if you say you don't want to, you're a liar. You're a liar. So that's what we're doing. We're celebrating. It's hard not to celebrate. Why wouldn't you want to? Everybody up, 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 up. Lulu up, come. Look at them. Oh gosh, you guys have to learn how to both fit. Everybody has to share. Come here. Murphy over here. Oh my Lord almighty. So he learned this one. He learned the paw trick pretty early on. Lulu doesn't know that one yet. Can you give me a paw? No, you want... Can I have a paw? Can you give me a paw? Okay, well, this is a paw. Good girl. We're learning. She's learning. She's picking it up. Oh, very close up. Sorry. Oh, Lord almighty. Oh. So that's just it. We're having a time. We're having fun. You feel like they're just selling me regular cookies without much sugar and are charging you extra. Correct. That's exactly what it is. 1,000%. like actually 100%. So we will listen to one or two more songs. We'll continue talking about the stuff we'll be talking about. Of course, we've been mentioning that I'm going to be, oh God, my hair. I got to be flying over to Montreal to go to a show. We've got lots coming up for the summer. And of course, before the day is out, we will give Lulu her spoiled princess cookie. And don't worry, there is, of course, a spoiled prince cookie as well, which is broken. I swear that wasn't me. I didn't eat it. So we'll do that, and then I'll let them back out here because it is a pretty hot one. But there she is. Look at her. Not what you would expect, but a beautiful girl nonetheless. If you're just listening to the radio, hey, thanks. Don't worry about it. All I can tell you is that when I got Lulu, she was a very insecure, fearful dog, and she still is in some ways, but she's changed my life. I've changed her life, and I'd argue that she's doing okay. Now, the stream sticker thing, if you can get that panel to load, all the more power to you. I checked over on Twitch, and it looks like the panel for slapping those stickers on the screen is just forever loading. Oh, no, apparently you can. Are there free stickers? Do we have free stickers? I want to get free stickers. Okay, hang on. I'm going to figure out how to do this. But it looks like the stickers are now officially working. So heck, maybe we can make this work. Okay, I'm going to play more music because, of course, we've only got an hour left. I'm going to feed the dogs more cookies. You guys can hopefully smash. Yeah, no, before it wasn't. What show am I going to in Montreal? I am going to see Obituary, Cattle Decapitation, and Carcass playing with Amon Amarth. If you are going to be moving on over from Kingston, hop the train. Let's go party. Let's do it. Let's go see a show. Hi, kitty girl. Good to see you. So that's what we're doing. There should be free stickers, and I will figure out if I can make those show up, because I don't want you guys to pay money to put stickers on my face, even though arguably you probably want to cover my face. Yes, Carcass. You know, you weren't here earlier, Gabe, but I actually did play some Carcass. I played you a track called Edge of Darkness off of a fabulous album from 1996 called Wake Up and Smell the Carcass. And this is what we were talking about before you guys arrived. We were just mentioning that was one of those albums in the 90s that was, you know, obviously really, had a gore photo on the front. And we were mentioning that it's actually a picture of JFK's autopsy, you know, just brains just out of his head. It is. It's a great bill. I am stoked. The ticket was expensive. I'm going to have to pay for a flight. But you know what? Some things are priceless. And pretty soon we're going to be living in Mad Max. And the only metal you're going to get is like that dude in front of the wall of amps just playing the guitar on the bungee cords as everybody like rocks off to war. So, you know, in the interest of making hay while the sun shines, I am going to have to get my ass over and watch all the shows that I can. Although, like, real talk, I would absolutely party to the fire, murder, mosh pit mobile in the apocalyptic wasteland. I mean, I would. 100%. Just, you know, we'll get there when we get there. So, we played a lot tonight. We've already gone Gojira, Traveler, Psychonaut, Prong, 𝖊𝖕𝖎𝖆 Bellacore we just played. I have a lot more music and I want to cover off all of it. I want to feed the dogs more cookies because they're so fucking cute. I want to share that positivity with you, and I want to share that loud music with you. And of course, if you weren't here last week, and it wouldn't have been hard to miss because I fucking blew it, that's why we're doing dog cookies a second time, then you might have missed the absolutely killer, amazing playlist from last week, which was the dog-centric Lulu's Lucky Sevens playlist. So there you are. If you want to check out the tracks on it, it was fucking good. Mwah! Mwah! I say to you. So we will continue on, and I want to play some more tracks. So let's do it. Considering we're talking about stuff that could, and you know, okay, so Heilig, you're in Argentina. There are lots of people down that way. All I could say is you could probably hang out with some other metalheads if you needed to do so. But yeah, so I'm going to feed the dogs more cookies and we're going to listen to more metal. I'm going to play you a new release because I always try to keep up. It's live! John, it is live. I haven't seen you in ages. I hope you're doing amazing. I'm stoked to see you. So here's the deal. I want to play you guys new releases. I like to mix in new releases every week. I played you guys some brand new Psychonaut earlier. This is a great place to put in some more new music. Now, there's a band that I've played for you over the years that is pretty great, and often, has sort of a crossover appeal, and it's a band called Parkway Drive. And I've played a number of tracks from them for you guys, but they have a brand new release, and I thought, well, heck. They have a lead single out because they're going to put out a new album in September. So I thought, this is a good place. Let's smash this in here. Do you guys want to listen to some new Parkway Drive? That's what we're going to do. Given that we're talking about life being just a little bit too short and going to have to, be fearful of all of the things that are out there that could happen. That's what the track's called. The track is called The Greatest Fear. My name is 𝖭𝖏𝖏𝖏. Let's feed the dogs some more cookies. You can see it's getting hot. Everybody's pretty panty, right? So you're going to watch them eat cookies like adorable babes, and then I'm going to release them out of this hot room. I am going to remain hot in here, boiling away for your pleasure. And I'm going to play some really loud music. And hopefully you guys are going to want to hang out till the top of the hour here on Fullforce Radio. Yes, there you go. Brand new Parkway Drive. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me get this readjusted here. So, hey, my name's 𝖭𝖏𝖏𝖏. This is handsome Murphy boy. That is beautiful Lulu. My couch is disgusting. My hands are disgusting. Everything is disgusting. Everything is covered in spit and icing. And if that's not a party, I don't know what is. My name is 𝖭𝖏𝖏𝖏, and this is Fullforce Radio. Yes, last week, everybody missed me feeding the dogs live on stream. So as promised, I went out and I bought a buttload more cookies. And there you go. You have now watched my adorable munchkins eat cookies on stream. They are a delight. I love them very much. I hope you guys enjoy watching them be disgusting. I am going to need to take a shower because every part of me is covered in sprinkles and icing and saliva. And that sounds like a pretty good time. Don't get me wrong. But yuck. So they're just chilling. You can see he's panting pretty hard. It's pretty warm in here. Lulu's here. There's a bunch of spit. Look at the spit. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you're just listening, imagine it. Imagine it glistening in the light. But I'm going to crack my window here. Hopefully there won't be too much ambient noise. I'm going to try and not pass out from heat on stream. You can see I'm getting a little flushed. Welcome to the show, my darlings. So this has been a good, fun, yes, proof of dog birthday reboot. Thank you, my darlings. So we will let the dogs kick it for a bit. I bought them Yaki sticks so they can eat those. And we'll continue on. We'll play a little bit more music. So yeah, Parkway Drive. There you go. A track called The Greatest Fear. Look at them babies. They're so good. And they're living their best life. But behind me, they're still snooting around. They want more food. They're not satisfied. Look at him. Look at your wagging tail, Murphy. Who are you wagging at? Murphy, what a smiley boy. Lulu, what about you? Lulu? Yeah, whatever. All right, so they're both here. See? Proof of dog. Murphy, give me a paw. Yeah. There you go. He's a smart kid. Okay, so we've done everything that we need to do. If I had a longer thing, I would let you listen to his panting face, but I don't. Yeah, no ASMR dog pants for you. So let's continue on. I do have a couple more tracks to play. I've only got half an hour left in the show. Guys, I'm going to have to cut tracks again. I'm so surprised. Said nobody ever about Fullforce Radio. Let's be realistic. I mean, this is a thing that's pretty normal, right? I have so much music. I have so much stuff I want to talk to you about. Tonight has been an awfully interesting set of topics. I mean, we have ranged the gamut from the fact that I can barely grow hair like a grown-ass woman to how I wish I had better eyebrows. I was asking you all about your scars. If you showed up late and you didn't tell me, do you have an interesting scar? I want to know where it is. Tell me about your scar and how you got it. Mariano's got a cool lip scar. Lacey's got a matching eyebrow scar to me. We've been all over the place tonight. We are going to kind of return more to theme shows. We did it last week. I'm going to try and do it more. But I will say, summer is so hard for me. And getting home on time is a struggle. So if you were here at the beginning of the show, you may have watched me put on a little bit of a face because I looked like a creepy albino. And I will always do my best to make it home on time and not miss any streams. Yeah, your mileage may vary. But when I am here, I will put good music in your ears and we will have a great time and you will learn all sorts of wonderful things, like the word for a long, painful, dangerous boner. That's what metal can do for you. That is the power of metal. Forget 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 and the news. Forget Huey and the power of love. Jesus, they're panting really hard. I'm going to let them out. No, it's the power of metal. That's what we are all about here. So, knowing how little time I have left, I have a couple bangers for the end of the show. My favorite, I'm going to play you one of my favorite Sabbath tracks. I'm going to play something by 𝖊𝖕𝖆𝖆 because I love them. And I'm going to try and get through some other stuff. So let's see what we can squeeze in here, eh? In the adventure of letting the dogs out, I'm going to play something by a band called Adrift. And I've played their music for you before. They have some really cool album covers. They have some really interesting kind of like psychedelic 70s rock kind of take on stuff. And I want to play you a track that's a little bit older. I want to play something off one of their older albums. Since we were talking about balancing out all your absolute eviscerating, slam-induced Priapism, diarrhea, waterboarding kind of metal, with sort of more fantasy-based, philosophy metal, we have to do the best. We have to do the best we can to find the positivity in songs where we can. And so this particular track that I'm going to play for you, let me pull that bad boy up. I'm going to play you a track off an album called Enlightened in Eternity, and I'm going to play you a track called Harmony of the Spheres. We'll talk a little bit about this when we get back, but let's play this track. Let me let the dogs back out because she's hot. Look at him panting away. Say goodbye to the dogs. And of course, as the days get colder, they will be welcome to sit up here with me in the hot office. And perhaps, all of my streaming earnings will just go to buying them food that you can watch them gook me up eating. Yeah? Let's do it. Let's play this track. We'll come back. We'll figure out how much time we have left in the show. And we'll talk a little bit about what the hell a Harmony of the Spheres is on Fullforce Radio. Alrighty then. Hello, my darlings. Hello, people hopping in. I see Polar Maestro is here. He's Beats Life now. Whomever you are. Some people are hopping in. Some people are hopping out. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So Clay's talking about how he's discovered the meaning of life is mostly memes. Yeah. Welcome. Enjoy. That track was sick. And also Bolos is here. I don't always get to see Bolos. So hello. Yeah, memes are never a waste of time. Arguably, they are specifically the language that we all speak to each other. Now, memes are both a fighting language and a love language. These are both. These are all things. This is the human condition. Again, memes are literally how we think. It's like, just the pictures in our head just onto the internet. So Listen, I just played you a track called The Harmony of the Spheres by a band called Adrift. And it's off an album, surprisingly, called Enlightened in Eternity. Now, if you are interested in things like weird philosophy and all sorts of stuff like that, The Harmony of the Spheres might sound familiar to you. This is a cool, weird thing. Oh, John. Wait, what did you make? Crimson 492GG. Okay, so I have to make emojis. That's like a standard emoji, but I need to make custom emojis. I'm going to work on that. We're obviously going to have to make like a Lulu and a Murphy one. And then of course we'll make a Crim one too. So if you have a suggestion of like which one of my ugly face, because it can't be a cute emoji. It has to be an ugly emoji. Or maybe this new girl can whip something up. But yeah, we'll have to take care of the emoji situation. The Harmony of the Spheres is a really cool and interesting sort of, I know. Listen, I've got to get each of you guys, who's on Twitch. I got to make you all moderators. Everybody's a moderator. You're all amazing. But the song that I'm talking about right now, Harmony of the Spheres, this is a really interesting thing, and I'm actually not surprised that Patient Zero picked up on this, because this is one of those albums that talks about a theory that's been around for a long time, and that has been co-opted by good and bad and inside and out and philosophy and magic and science and all of these things. And so the idea of the harmony of the spheres actually kind of dates back to Pythagoras, I'm pretty sure. Now, you know, Pythagorean theorem, that's that thing in school that you learned and then immediately dumped out the side of your head because you realize math is stupid and you never want to look at it again. But so Pythagoras had this idea that he thought that the planets, the spheres, he believed that all the planets were roughly X amount apart, and that if those planets were X amount apart, those were actually musical intervals. And the idea was that the entire universe created music. There were harmonies. And the idea, this music, musica universalis, or whatever the fuck he called it, the sun, the moon, the planets, as they wheeled through the sky, as we moved and we rocketed through space on this spinning blue marble, and we orbited other marbles, and this whole universe existed inside a tapestry of glistening, moonshine and stardust, etc. That it was all making music, that everything is music, that distance and time and perception and the traveling of light, all of that is music. And so that's pretty cool. That's a cool thought. And so, of course, that continued on. And, Pythagoras, just thought of it because what was that, like the fucking 6th or I don't even know when he lived, 6th century, 7th century? And then the astronomer Kepler, he actually went out and in the 1600s, he literally wrote down Harmonicus Mundi or something. I don't know. But it's same sort of thing. He basically laid out this treatise that he believed after watching these celestial bodies moving. He believed that all of these planets in our solar system, every time they orbited the sun, they emitted a noise, and that there was this magical series of tones that the universe was always singing to us. If we could just listen, could just hear, the whole universe is constantly singing to us. It's a great idea. It's a very romantic form of science. That was kind of an epic rant there. Was that too ranty? I'm just saying, I do this a lot on this show. You guys, we talk about this spinning, we talk about this spinning marble a lot, but honest to God, stop and think about it. Like the absurdity of our existence. We are ambulating meat bags. We are literally bags of water powered by stretchy chunks of meat that are firing tiny pulses of electricity that are produced by a little fucking engine in our chests, and we are literally on a rock that is spinning faster than you could possibly imagine, that is rocketing through the universe, and none of us exist, and we all simultaneously exist, and we are just all the dust of stars. What? That's fucking crazy. Honestly, be so grateful that you live. It's a fucking miracle. It's bizarre. How did this happen? Insane. So yeah, the idea that there is this romantic, mathematical, scientific music that is happening all around you all the time, simply because we exist, is a pretty cool idea. And yes, I know there's probably some people that have co-opted that into all sorts of other weird shit. But forget about, he's born in 570. Well, thank you, because I'm not so up on my philosophers and scientists and astronomers. But if you ever need sort of a reminder of how ridiculous this life is, out of all of the years, all of the places, all of the dust motes, all of the fleeting rays of light that are traveling for years before you ever perceive them, you were born onto a time and a space and a place where you and I got to chat tonight. You coexisted at the same time as Lemmy. You coexisted on Earth. You overlapped in time with David Bowie. Amazing. Yeah, do we even exist? Who knows? Doesn't matter. We all believe we do, and so here we are. So yeah, I love this kind of thing. I love these sort of I love these sorts of ideas. Sometimes you just have to stop and really just embrace the absolute absurdity of the universe. And the absurdity is beauty. It's terrible, meaningless beauty. So yeah, if you want to listen to the lyrics of that track, did I pull them up? I did. Twilight language that we spoke before, when we knew more, a sublunar quest as old as time, and it must be seen with ancient eyes. This harmony is showing us the way, and every vibration is the same. It illuminates the darkest depths where every secret is kept, and there are 10 lives to master, but instant to forget. It's a spark to wake you who has slept. Harmony shows us the way, and every vibration is the same. I was born in Armageddon, a billion years in a millisecond, the universe in a single cell, a seeker of heaven and a creator of hell. I mean, honestly, humans, we are incredible and horrific, and that's really what it's all about. So for all of the times where we talk about, I like Cannibal Corpse, or, oh yeah man, let's go listen to I Cum Blood, there are times when we want to just reflect on the fact that nothing we do matters, and that's so incredibly freeing. And also, everything we do does matter to the people we love and to our own lives. I mean, simultaneously, everything and nothing. You literally can't get more important or less important than that. You know, whichever side you need at any moment in time. If you're overwhelmed because you feel like everything's too much, remember, nothing matters. If you're overwhelmed and you feel like you don't matter, well, remember, you really fucking do. Philosophy bombs. Look at that. In the first half of the show, you're going to learn the new name for a painful erection, scientific terminology. And in the back half of the show, you're going to learn about how Pythagoras thought that the planets were making music. Listen, a little bit of everything. I'd like to say we're a well-rounded... I mean, Christ, you don't need to pay for a university education. Just come to Fullforce Radio. You know? No, please don't quit school. Stay in school if you're in school. If you're not in school, don't go to school. Listen, just don't replace anything meaningful in your life with me. I'm an addition, a sprinkling, a soupçon of spice, you know. All right, so while we're doing this, blood fart. Ron, did you make that? It's beautiful. Our metal band. I kind of want to make a blood fart shirt to go along with the titties shirt. Aw, blood farts. We should probably also look up whether or not blood farts is really a thing. You're going to graduate in the school of 𝖭𝖭𝖏. Oh my God, you guys are all going to fail life. You may graduate from the school of 𝖭𝖭𝖏, but you're all going to fail real life. No, you'll probably be fine. Just let me cash these tuition checks. Be right back. It's bad. Don't give me money. Okay, so now that we're here at the end of the show, we got 20 minutes left in the show and not enough time. I want to play you so many songs, but we don't have enough time. So here's the deal. I am going to play you 2 songs that I'm not willing to live without tonight. And the rest of it, we'll chuck it in the fuck it bucket and we'll come back to it another week. I want to play you one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs. And it's a song that I've played for you before, and I will play it again. I always love towards the end of the show to sort of come back to the classics. And often that's Maiden, and I haven't done Maiden in a while, but Tough Titties, we're not doing it tonight. Tough Titties, Tough Blood Farts. I'm going to play you one of my absolute favorite Black Sabbath tracks off one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. I'm going to play something off Heaven and Hell. It is a track called Children of the Sea. So since we're talking about being children of the starlight and motes of electricity dancing on the waves of the universal consciousness, let's have some Black Sabbath. And then we'll come back and I have one more song. And it's ridiculous and it's a sing-along and we're going to have a lot of fun. And it's a bizarre cover. I haven't played it in ages. I'm looking forward to it. Stick around. Ah! Sorry. Ah! Remember how I was saying you existed on this earth at the same time as Lemmy, the same time as David Bowie? You shared the substance of life and death with Ronnie James Dio. That's fucking magical. All right, so there you go. One of my favorite tracks off of one of my favorite Sabbath albums. You know, lots of people would argue with me, but I'll tell you, that was right when Dio was new. Tony Iommi, Dio working together. Dio wrote that track, and it actually kind of ties in a little bit. Believe it or not, there was sort of a seg there. It ties in a little bit and kind of follows that music of the spheres idea. You know, they've mentioned that song, you know, in many interviews over the years, is sort of a little bit about how we don't spend a lot of time thinking about our impact on the planet. And so, you know, Geezer had been writing the tracks up to that point, but Dio wrote pretty much everything on the album Heaven and Hell. And so Iommi in a lot of interviews was saying that the idea is we're all just slaves and we're rowing this boat and technology is getting ahead of us. And it's actually, you know, the whole song is sort of about being aware of our impact on the planet around us, because we do things and we don't 100% think it over. We don't think about the consequences. And I mean, yeah, not our strong point, is it? But that was so cool because that song was written by the two of them, Dio and Iommi, in like the first jam session they ever did together. The idea of that song came out of what must have been most incredible jam session. That card is amazing, and I would be so happy with it. But yes, so Kingston, before we finish up, yes, this will 1,000% go up to YouTube. The last couple shows haven't. Last week's was really stupid. I haven't quite gotten around to the Canada Day one. We will fix everything. It will all go up and it will be amazing. And tonight's show does have a post. It will get show notes. It will get everything. And shortly after the show, I will make this playlist public. So you don't even have to pay attention to me. You could go straight to my Spotify. You could grab all the tracks you want, listen to them again, and enjoy them in the comfort of your own home. We talked about many things. We talked about the most metal music band names ever, and we invented our own. It's Blood Farts, by the way. We talked a little bit about so much. This show is ridiculous because you will learn a lot about metal, but unfortunately you have to wade through the absolute cesspool that is everything else I talk about. And I'd say I'm sorry, and normally I would be because I'm Canadian, but I'm not. So I hope you've been having a lot of fun. Now, one of the things that I used to do a lot, and that I haven't done as often, and that's shitty, and I'm going to try and fix, is I used to play what I called Bizarro World metal covers, and I have a whole playlist full of them. One of the things that I love the best is when a metal band does a cover of a non-metal song, or a metal band does a cover of another metal band song in a different style, or when a new metal band does a cover of an old metal band song that inspired them growing up. Like, I love covers. Well done covers are so fun. They're a great excuse to just rock out. And you know what? You didn't make it up, but you sure as hell can just live your best life and shout it to the most metal name you could come up with was Clot. You were in a band called Clot? That's pretty metal. That's gross. I like it because it's like clot of what? You could be a clot of cream. You could be a clot of blood. I mean, could you be a clot of poop? There are so many things that you could be a clot of that are very, very metal. So, you know, seal of approval. Clot is gross. A++. Wood metal again. Clot. Clot. So, here's blood farts. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a blood fart, maybe you are passing a clot. But I'd like to think that it really is like a but instead of a shart, it's a blood fart. A blart, if you will. Blart. Not as cool as blood fart. We're going to stick with blood fart. I'm going to make up a design for that. But so the Bizarro World metal cover for the end of tonight, I was thinking, oh, we're going to end on Dio, but we're not. And then I was thinking, oh, we're going to end on Maiden, but we're not. And then I had a lot of ideas. Can you tell? I realized I wanted to get some Allegiant into the playlist tonight. I listened to them a lot, like an unhealthy amount. They are rising very rapidly in my bingo wings are just fucking swinging rough. I swear I have muscles. They're rising really rapidly in my favorite bands, and they have been for a long time, but they're getting a lot of airtime these days. So obviously, I have a whole period of loving like Canadian progressive bands and like classical guitars and all of the things that inspired a lot of these metal musicians to get into metal. So I am going to play you one of the best covers of all time. It's Allegiant covering Roundabout This is a sing-along track. The classical Spanish acoustic layered over just in the... Doesn't need an introduction. Let's just drift off, and I'll be back to say goodbye on Full Force Radio. Speaking of memes, you might have heard this track on dank meme compilations. Blood farts. Oh man, what a track. Yeah, yes, Out of London. Now listen, I am almost out of time. We're going to get cut off right at the top of the hour. Full Force Radio's over. I hope you had so much fun tonight. Yes, indeed. In and around the lake, mountains come out of the sky and they stand there. Speaking of standing there, you should hang around because this weekend I will do Cyberbuzz next Thursday, Friday, whatever time it is for you right now. You can go to fullforce.rocks, find out when I'm on next. Yeah, not the original Yes track. Doesn't matter. So good. That song needed that, and it needed that unclean singing, those blast beats, and both are amazing, the old and the new. You can have both, god damn it. Why not both? So, I will share this playlist. It was a gooder. I love that track. Thank you for letting me put some metal tunes in your ears. I'm really hot. I'm really hungry. I will make an effort to do maybe hopefully celebration show next week. I'm not actually sure when the 5th anniversary of Full Force is, but it's pretty soon. So I will work on that. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for everything. I will see you next week. And yes, this will absolutely go up for replays. I'll trim the music out. You guys pick and choose what you want. Play it loud. Play it with Full Force. I said the name of the show. Anyways, I'm gone. Have an awesome night. Bye-bye. In and around the lake, mountains come out of the sky and they stand there.